very, very warm welcome indeed to St Peter Mancroft Church here in the heart of Norwich at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday. I'm Edward Carter, the vicar here. If you're enjoying looking around the church, please do carry on. If you're at the charity card shop, please do continue browsing and buying cards. Every Wednesday at 1 we have a short reflection which is given and also live streamed, so welcome to any joining us on the live stream. In fact, on 1 o'clock on pretty much all the days through the week, there's something here. Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's a quiet communion service. On Mondays and Fridays, we have prayers for the city. So if ever you're here at 1 o'clock in the week, then you're more than welcome to join us in our life. Well, if you listen very carefully, although I'm not sure if you'll hear it on the live stream, you can hear the gentle sounds of the cash till taking payments for Christmas cards at the original Norwich charity Christmas card shop, which is here in the church, just at the back. And it's been open now for about a week, which is great because it's never too early to get your cards and to post them perhaps to far-flung parts of the world. And I believe after a week or so, things are going very, very well indeed. There are cards from 28 different charities available at the shop. A great mixture of charities, but all very much people-related. Some of them very local indeed, others are much more national or indeed even international. Of course, being a Christmas card shop, it's a pop-up shop. It's open for pretty much about 3 months, just running up to Christmas each year. It's run for 59 years now. This is its 59th year, and in the past it's taken up residence in some empty shops here in the city of Norwich, I think at the Assembly House as well for a few years, various places. But this is now the 5th year in a row that we've been delighted to host the shop here at St Peter Mancroft. I looked up 1 or 2 bits of information about the shop. In its very first year, which was 1965, it raised about £2,000, which must have felt great. Last year, it was around £45,000, which is tremendous. I'm sure this year will be very much along those lines, perhaps more. And if you add up all those years, all the 59 years, it's well over £1.5 million that's been raised for charities through the card shop. And there are no overheads at all. All of that money goes straight to charities. I did actually look up last year, just to give you a flavour, what the top 3 charities were by funds raised from their cards. The top one was Save the Children, fantastic charity, does work around the world. Second one was the East Anglia's Children's Hospices, which really does amazing work, charitable work here locally in Norfolk and East Anglia with young people. And then the third one was Guide Dogs for the Blind Association, which again is a tremendous charity to support providing help for people, of course, who have limited sight. Well, the thing about the card shop is that it wouldn't happen without the volunteers who run it, who organise it, give a huge amount of time and energy to it. I was told the other day that there are, I don't know, more than 80, I think, volunteers who give their time and energy. And the shop is open Monday to Saturday. It's not open on Sundays because, of course, partly here at the church we have our services. But actually also, I was told the other day by one of the organisers that a lot of the volunteers, maybe not all, but a lot, are actually churchgoers themselves. So they're involved in their own church life on a Sunday. But the shop is very much open Monday to Saturday. But it set me thinking as I pondered those 80 or more volunteers. And indeed, we have many people who volunteer here in the life of this church, St Peter Mancroft as well. It got me thinking again about how important volunteering is, how hugely important it is to our communities, to the way in which we share life together. Of course, paid work is important, having a career and a job, really, really important. But alongside that, the spirit of volunteering is absolutely invaluable. And as we know, to volunteer is to give of oneself voluntarily. That's the heart of the word volunteer, a voluntary offer of time and skill and effort, a voluntary offer to help others and therefore to help our community as a whole, our society as a whole. Well, of course, I'm a Christian minister, so as I reflected on this, I found myself thinking about actually the way in which, almost, it sounds a bit odd to put it this way, but that God is like a great volunteer. Why do I say that? Well, because I believe, and really the Christian faith teaches, that God voluntarily, freely gives of himself for creation. We as individual volunteers give of ourselves for our local community. In a way, God's local community is everything that he's made, his creation. And God isn't paid, of course, to do things, even to have made anything. That's not what Christians believe. God gives freely everything in creation, and then as he breathes his life into creation, ongoing life. And of course, a charity Christmas card shop sells cards that we send to one another at Christmas. And Christmas is, of course, a very, very important time of year for everyone, but for Christians in particular, because Christmas is when we remember Jesus' birth, yes, but actually what lies at the heart of that is God's giving of himself to creation. That's what it means to say God came to be with us at Christmas. So it's very much at the heart of the Christian faith that God voluntarily gives of himself. It says somewhere in the Bible that God and Jesus poured himself out freely for the good of creation, for the good of others, a free gift that didn't require any kind of merit or payment at all. Just a completely free gift, almost no strings attached, but with a longing for a response. And that, in a way, does put the ball back in our court, for me anyway, as a Christian. How on earth can I respond to that wonderful free gift, that huge voluntary thing that God does? I can't answer that question in a minute or two now, but I can say it's a life's work. And of course, as we volunteer ourselves, we therefore kind of discover a little bit more about God and kind of line ourselves up alongside God. And certainly every time I volunteer and every time I talk to anyone who volunteers, I never ever have any sense that it's a kind of a chore or something of a drudge. No, it's almost the opposite. As we give freely of ourselves, as we volunteer, so we really are blessed. We receive great blessings. We recognise the way in which we're joined up with one another as a community. We're kind of at ease more with each other as we give and share of our own time and skills. So as God gives freely and we receive gratefully, so we too, as Christians would say, must mirror God as we too give freely in our own lives. So as I end, I do want to say, first of all, if you're someone who sends Christmas cards, do support the original Norwich Charity Christmas Card Shop. It's a wonderful shop. Great range of cards, certainly, great range of designs, fantastic range of charities that it supports, and a great set of wonderful volunteers who keep that shop running for these 3 months. I suppose also I would encourage all of us, me, you, to give thanks for that spirit of volunteering and that sense in which we do feel moved to give of ourselves for others and for our life together. Give thanks for that. Let's not take it for granted. Let's play our part in it. And then for me anyway, as a Christian, it draws me back to that sense of giving thanks to God for all that he so freely gives to us, which is the spirit of Christmas. Thank you so much for listening today to me. Next Wednesday at 1, there'll be another live-streamed reflection. There's one every week. I do hope you can join us for that. Meanwhile, God bless.